Hi, my name is Walt Monaghan. I'm with the Alaska Native Justice Center. I am proud of my Native heritage and the many values it embraces, two of which are respect and honesty. As a retired police officer, I had witnessed these values from those I served daily, including from other Alaska Natives I had arrested. America was intentionally designed with the systems of checks and balances to safeguard our founding principles. We are taught about our branches of government, but it also holds true for each one of us on a personal level. Every citizen is presumed innocent. Every citizen is entitled to seek and obtain legal counsel before speaking to authorities, and every citizen has a right to be judged by a jury of their peers. Our personal checks and balances with our government. These individual rights Americans have long been accustomed to, rights that may not be as well known to Alaskans, especially Alaska Natives. We at Alaska Native Justice Center felt it is important to remind you of these rights. This video is not intended to allow someone to avoid an arrest or to cast law enforcement in a poor light, but rather to help every citizen feel comfortable in exercising their constitutional rights to be free from unwanted intrusion of their personal lives and that of their property. We hope that you find this video to be informative and that it encourages discussion on the topic of your rights as American and Alaskan citizens. Thank you.
Hi, ma'am. Can I talk to you for a moment?
Oh, hey, I gotta go with someone's talking. Talk to me real quick.
My name is Alex. I'm a local VPS, so I'd like to talk to you about your bag and where you're headed today. Can you talk to me for a second? Thank you.
Sure.
Okay. Now, where are you headed today?
I'm headed to Mountain Village.
Okay. You understand it's a dry community there?
Yes, I do.
Okay. I've heard complaints from people in the airport as far as what's in your bag and there being some noise and some bottles. Can I look at your bag for a moment?
No. I know my rights.
Okay. Well, I just want to make sure that you don't have any alcohol, just because it is a dry community.
I know my rights. I know I have rights, and you cannot just look into my bag just because you're here.
Okay. I can get a search warrant very easily from the magistrate and come right back.
Well, my flight's gonna leave shortly, so...
And you're sure that I can't look at your bag?
I'm absolutely sure.
Okay. All right. Have a good day.
Thanks.
In this scene, Anne was traveling to a dry village when she was approached by a law enforcement officer at the airport and was asked to agree to a search of her luggage for alcohol and to answer questions about their contents. This scenario happens frequently in Alaska airports, and many travelers feel they have no right but to allow the officer to search through their private belongings. But Anne knew her rights under the Alaska and U.S. constitutions. She had a right to privacy and did not have to give consent, or in other words, agree to allow the search of her bag. Because of the necessity of air travel to access many places in Alaska, the Alaska Constitution provides travelers at airports in Alaska with special rights. In order to fly, everyone must still go through the TSA security checkpoint. This is where carry-ons are x-rayed and the traveler walks through a metal detector. But if you are approached by a state trooper or VPSO, as Anne was, you have the right not to talk to the trooper and can say no to any request to search your carry-on or checked baggage. This includes boxes, totes, or coolers that have been checked. They are asking you for your permission to look into your bags. You have the right not to give it by simply saying no. In the scenario, we saw that Anne knew her rights and did not give permission to the trooper to look into her carry-on belongings or checked belongings. Although she did answer some questions, she had the right not to answer any questions about where she was traveling to or from or what was in her belongings. She was polite to the officer, but also firm in her response that she was not going to agree to a search. If the officer has enough evidence, he or she can go to a judge and request a warrant to search the bags without your permission. However, Saying no to a search is not in any way an admission of guilt and cannot be used against you. You have the right to keep your belongings private and not agree to let an officer look through your possessions.
In the next scenario, we'll see teenagers asserting some of the same rights, but in a different setting.
Hey, excuse me. Can you just put the belt up for a sec? Whose backpack is that over there?
Mine, sir.
Okay, can I take a look at it?
No, sir.
Why not?
I know my rights, and I do not give you permission to search my bag.
Okay, because I've heard reports of kids drinking out here, and I have a feeling that there's some beer in your backpack. Can I take a look at it?
No, sir.
Raquel, I went to school with your mom, and I'd prefer not to talk to her. I'd rather talk to you about this. If I can look at the backpack, I won't tell her. Will you let me look at it?
No, sir.
Okay. Can I get a breathalyzer from you guys?
Sir, we will not blow into that thing, and we will answer no more further questions without an attorney involved.
Okay, well, I'd like to at least take a look at your eyes because I don't believe you guys. I think you've been drinking.
No, sir.
Okay, are you sure I can't take a look at that backpack?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you guys understand that if I go get a warrant, I can come out here and I can do that and look through whatever I want. You understand that, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you understand I can talk to your parents as well?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Dang.
In this situation, an officer approaches a group of young people hanging out with the hunch that they're up to no good based on little more than an unfair stereotype of age, ethnic background, and how they are dressed. It is a common experience many Alaska Natives have had. Under the Constitution, the police need reasonable suspicion to stop and to detain you for questioning. If approached, you can always say to an officer that you do not want to answer any questions or talk with him. Ask if you are free to leave. You have the right to remain silent. You need not answer any questions about where you have been, where you and your friends are going, what you've been doing, or even what's in that bag. Even if you have not done anything wrong and are not hiding anything, the Constitution gives you the right not to answer these questions and to keep your personal life private from law enforcement and the government. As we saw in the first scenario, the young people were not required to agree or consent to any searches of bags or other belongings. This is true whether the item the officer wants to search is a backpack, a purse, a wallet, or a brown paper bag. Officers may casually ask if they can take a peek or a look in the bag, a jacket, or a car that belongs to you. They're asking you to give up important constitutional rights. These are rights you can protect with a simple response of no, or no, I don't give you permission to search. This also applies in situations where police ask a person to blow into a portable breath test, or a PBT, to see if the individual had been drinking alcohol. Courts usually consider the decision to blow into a PBT voluntary. You have the right to say no, you will not blow into the machine. As in the video, you can say no to this or any other request that the police have of you. They will try to gather evidence of intoxication, including field sobriety tests, or shine a flashlight in your eyes. Rights are different if you are stopped for suspicion of DUI. In that situation, you are required by law to blow into the PBT or the data master at the station. The officer should inform you that is a legal requirement.
Carly, I don't know if you realize how serious this is, but we have some evidence that you have committed some pretty serious crimes here. 3 computers and 1 laptop were stolen from the school. 2 computers were completely destroyed. You are over 18 years old, and we are going to hold you truly responsible for this crime. Now, you can do yourself a favor now by helping us telling us where the computers are and who was involved. If you do not help us, we will transport you to YKCC. Do you know what YKCC is?
No.
It's the Yukon Kuskokwim Correctional Center. It's a place where we put all the adult prisoners. And with this evidence that we do have against you, if you don't cooperate, you'll be spending a lot of time there.
I'm sorry. I don't really know anything about any computers.
All right, come go up there and start the paperwork for the transport.
Thanks, Gary. I'll talk to her. Well, now, Carly, I've been knowing you a long time. I've known you since you were a little kid. And you seem to be a good kid. But Carly went to school with your aunt, and I think she's going to be very disappointed to find out that you're going to be transported to YKCC. And we know you were there, Carly. We know because we found your fingerprints on the windowsill. And so it'd be really in your favor. It really would be in your favor if you were to tell us just who else was involved with it. We think Michael was the leader behind this. And it would help you out a lot if you would just give us that information as to who all were involved and everything that happened from the beginning.
Officer, I would like a lawyer. I'm not answering any of your questions until I have an attorney present.
Okay? All right, thank you very much. You're back.
In this last scene, Carly was being questioned by a state trooper and VPSO agent about her involvement in a theft that had occurred at the school. She was read her Miranda rights, which include the constitutional right to remain silent and to have an attorney present. The Miranda rights also include the warning that any statement she makes can and will be used against her in court. We hear these warnings read in nearly every police TV show or movie. It's common for people not to understand their true meaning, or they are so accustomed to hearing them that the Miranda rights may have lost the importance of their meaning. The officers are essentially asking Carly to give up her rights and to provide them with evidence about her involvement in the theft. Just as Carly did, you do not need to give the officers evidence to use against you. Oftentimes, the person being questioned does not know what evidence the police have or whether or not their conduct or involvement was criminal. It is better to not make any statements and to speak with a lawyer first about how to proceed. Carly did a good job stating she did not want to answer questions despite pressure from the officers. Law enforcement officers are trained to use a number of tactics to get people to talk, such as the bad cop, good cop scenario we just saw. While the trooper is taking a hard line about the seriousness of the crime, the VPSO is telling Carly that he knows her to be a good kid and is trying to get her to put her guard down and make an incriminating statement. It's also important to know that you have a right to remain silent and to tell the officer you will not answer questions at any point in the questioning, whether or not your Miranda rights have been read to you. Troopers, VPSOs, and police officers have training and experience in questioning and interrogation. You have a right to not answer any questions or to ask for an attorney to be present for any questioning. Do not try to outsmart the officer or give a false story. Just ask for a lawyer and stop answering questions, like Carly did.
Come in.
Oh, it's cold out there. Howdy, are you Mrs. Peterson?
Yes, I am.
Oh, my name is Michael Smith. I'm a sergeant with the Alaska State Troopers. Hey, do you have a grandson named Michael?
Could we speak speak outside, please? If you have questions for me, I would just as soon talk with you outside.
Oh, it is cold out there.
I know it's cold out there, but
I don't want you to catch cold or anything.
Oh, I won't catch cold. Don't worry about me.
Once again, do you have a grandson named Michael?
Yes, I do.
Does he stay here?
No, he does not. Sometimes he does.
He's one of the suspects of a number of thefts that are going around in the community here. And we were wondering if we can talk to him. Is Michael here?
No, he's not, sir. He's not here. I'm sorry.
Oh, Michael's not here?
No, he's not.
Oh, all right. Do you mind if I look around? Does Michael stay here?
Yeah. I'm sorry, sir, but I do know my rights. I told you that earlier. As long as you're a police officer, a state trooper, I would prefer it if you stay at your end and I'll stay here. If I have you come in here, then you can do whatever you want to. As it stands, this is where we'll talk.
Okay. Yeah, but anything that we do get, any cooperation that you do give us on this ongoing investigation, if Michael is implemented with anything with this investigation, it'd be best for him, for you to cooperate with us, so it can be a lot.
I understand,
lenient
sir.
For him.
I understand. Well, I'm sorry, sir. You will have to go and get whatever paperwork you need to do whatever. I will not have you in my house.
All right,
I will cooperate with you and answer questions, but as far as coming in here, I'm sorry.
Okay, so I can still come in here. I can go down to court and get a search warrant and come back in. Now, that's a lot of work on my part, and it's going to be a lot of weight. It's going to be time consuming, and that's not going to go all well for Michael in the very end if he is implicated in these crimes. So, you want to cooperate with me?
No, I'm sorry, sir. You will have to do whatever you have to do. I'll be adamant, and I'm sorry.
All right, Mr. Peterson.
You'll have to do what you have to do.
I'm going to go downtown and get a search warrant and come back here, Mr. Peterson, and I'll see you in a little bit.
Thank you. Bye.
One of the most important constitutional rights is the right to privacy in one's home. If an officer asks to come into your house, you have the right to tell them, "No, I do not give you permission to enter." If an officer has already entered your home, you still have the right to ask them to leave. Here, we saw Mrs. Peterson handle the situation firmly and politely. Trooper Smith was already inside when she asked him to step outside. Once outside, Mrs. Peterson stood in front of the door, making it clear she was not giving him permission to enter. When talking to the police, standing outside the door with the door closed is the easiest way to make clear that you do not give consent to the police entering your home. When Trooper Smith said he was going to get a warrant, Mrs. Peterson remained firm she was not giving her permission to enter and that he would need a warrant from the court. Police can threaten to call OCS or to get a warrant. They will do so if they have enough evidence regardless of what you may or may not tell them. If you allow police to enter your home, this means that you have given up your right to privacy and to challenge any evidence collected or viewed by the police in your home. It does not matter whether you own the home, are renting, or if you are a guest or staying at a hotel. You still have the right to say no to a police request to enter and search. Often in small villages, family members are law enforcement and they may be directed to obtain entry into their relative's home. When a family member serves in an official capacity, such as law enforcement, you have the right to insist that they remain outside. If the police seem reluctant to leave, be sure to repeat that you do not want them to come in. There are some situations where law enforcement can enter the home without a search warrant, such as when they have reason to believe someone inside the house is in danger or injured. Even if you think the officer is wrong, you should never touch or physically prevent law enforcement from entering your home. As long as you have made it clear you are not granting permission, you have protected your rights and the issue will need to be taken up in the courts. Finally, You do not need to answer any questions about what is inside your home or why you do not want the police to enter.